Good morning. Today this is Veranda from Julia's Junk, and today I'm doing this tabletop. So the client wanted a like a driftwood colored top, so this is the first time that I've tried it. The first coat was after I primed and painted, or primed it, and I put on the color Driftwood from Chic, and this was the base color. So then I whitewashed it with Sunday tea. I took a mixture of half paint and half water and brushed it on. It's pretty watery, and then wiped it back, and then that's what this looked like. So now I'm putting on a glaze. This is tobacco glaze from Annie's Reserve, and this can also be found at juliasjunk.com along with all the Country Chic paint. So I have a wet rag folded flat. This is really important to have a flat edge to when you take the glaze off. So I just take a brush, dip it in the glaze, paint it on. You don't have to have full coverage. Just have to get it all on there. And you just want to work in fairly small sections, but the length of the table, because you want to wipe the length of the table and keep your wipes kind of straight. Otherwise it looks kind of wonky. So I just keep putting it on there. There's kind of a natural section on this table for me, so that works out good. I said it doesn't have to be perfect, just get it on there. Some places will be thicker than others. That's okay. So then while it's still wet, this is important, you've got to do all this pretty quickly. So you take the rag that's got a flat, doesn't have bunches in it, and then just wipe back. And when that section of your rag gets full of glaze, just take and turn the rag, and then just keep pulling back. And you want to make sure and go all the way from one end to the other in one swipe. Otherwise you have some weird looking spots. When I would see people do techniques kind of like this, I would think that it wasn't necessary to keep the rag flat, but it definitely is. You do notice a difference. Live and learn. So just keep going back, wiping back where you think you need to for as long as until you like it. Keep looking. Definitely a lint-free rag works the best. I use old t-shirts and cut them up. And if you have places that need a little more taken back by the places that are pretty good, you can just adjust the pressure that you put on the rag. Takes a little while. And believe it or not, I actually tried this on bunch of different sample boards so I could figure out how to do it. But still there's a little learning curve in it. But it's really fun how fast that little bit of glaze changes it. And you can see a little bit of the whitewash coming through. The trick is to not make it look too stripy, I think. Well, that's what my goal is anyway. So it doesn't look too striped. But you want it to have a little bit of movement and get your colors how you want them. Of course, you can use whatever color you want. For glaze, I like the glaze for this because you can wipe back. And even if you it gets a little bit dry, you can just get your rag a little wetter. Definitely need a bucket of clean water because you have to rinse your rag quite a bit in the process. Just help you with down this end. This table's really old and it's not completely flat, so sometimes it sits in some of those cracks, which is kind of cool too. Depends all on what you want. And you can paint over the glaze. If it dries and you just don't like it at all, you can just paint over it and try something different or start over again. That's the great thing about glaze over wax, because wax you can't paint over. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then we're going to get to the legs, and I'll show you how I glaze the legs and the sides of the table. So after I glazed the top, I started glazing these legs. So I just put the glaze in there. Oh, just a second. My Netflix started up. So I wanted to show off the detail on these really pretty carved legs. So I put the same glaze in on the leg here and make sure and get it in all the grooves, because that's where you want it to stay, or that's where I wanted it to stay. So you just cover the leg, getting in all the nooks and crannies there. Especially all the dings. I like the dings. Go down to the feet. Down in there. And I also wanted to go around, I went around the apron here and got underneath there, and I really wanted it to get down in this groove. Get it on there. So the bottom part of the table was painted with Sunday Tea from Country Chic, and I sanded the table. First I cleaned it good with TSP, sanded it, roughed it up a little bit. This table was actually all the way down to the wood, so I just had to kind of smooth things out a little bit. And then I primed it with bin primer, that shellac base, so none of the tannins would come through. So then we just wipe it back here until we get leave as much as we want. And I mostly just wanted this to sit in the grooves and not be too much on the flat spots, because I kind of like the lighter color. And the client whose table this is wanted this a little bit lighter, because her kitchen has a dark gray wall and has wood floors, and so she wanted this a little lighter color. So after I primed it, and then I put 2 coats of the Sunday tea on there, and then sanded after the last one just to kind of smooth things out. I sprayed with the Critters sprayer the first coat, and then I put the second one on by hand, by brush. I don't know why, I sometimes just like to get out the paintbrush and paint. The sprayer is definitely faster. I will be using the sprayer on the chairs that I'll be getting to this week. They're all primed, or prepped and ready to prime and paint. So I'll be setting up the paint booth, which is a cool paint booth that looks like a tent that I got from my daughter Megan. That has worked out really well. I would have liked to set it up outside today, but of course it's windy out there. I don't think the spray booth would stick around. So yeah, just take it back as far as you want, and if you took too much off, you can always add some more. So I'm going to let this dry probably overnight, and then I'm going to top coat everything with Tough Coat. Have a good day.